Hello, DuneLady back. We are well into the third act of the Dune film by Denis Villeneuve. Paul has just taken the spice essence, and apart from what Jessica has experienced, which was unlocking the Reverend Mother's memories that came before her, which is an infinite amount of information that she just acquired. What's different about Paul is he unlocks all of his genetic memories, which is both the male and female side, which is what was so dangerous about him drinking the spice. The spice essence, the water of life, poison, is fatal to men. The only man that it's not fatal to is the Kwisatz Haderach. So we know at this point, Paul is the Kwisatz Haderach. That is a revelation. The Fremen, full blown, are with him as the Messiah. He is being bowed to. There is a lot of religious fervor happening. Paul hates it. This is not what he wanted. He was forced into it by every single person around him that he loves. So we are seeing a very reluctant, charismatic leader being propped up by everyone around him when he knows what is to come, which is war, famine, destruction, death. That's really not what anyone wants, but Jessica's plan is for them to survive this and get off this planet. And I think that she doesn't see that happening without gaining the ultimate power over the planet, which is the control of the Fremen people. So she is driven, and that's what she has been doing this whole time, making that happen. So she got her wish, and Paul is not happy. And like I said in my last video, Paul and Chani are a little bit broken. Chani and Jessica are absolutely broken. And all of the relationships are very strained. I'm not sure that we see it in the film, but in the books, Paul is desperate to convince Stilgar that he is not the prophet. He is not the God that he is seeing him as. But through the fundamentalist beliefs of the Southern Fremen, Stilgar is too indoctrinated. He is brainwashed. There is no talking him out of believing that Paul is the Messiah. So Paul finds himself at the center of something that he doesn't want to be the center of, but has kind of given up. This is what you wanted, I'll give it to you. And now you see that rage come out of him. He is absolutely raging. He is coming for revenge now. That's not, well, maybe that is what he wanted, but it has a different feel to it. We can feel that as in the audience, and as the viewers, we are feeling the stakes of everything. Everything feels very, very heightened. And everything in the film has brought us to this place. You know, we're feeling the music has changed. We're seeing people giving each other looks. We're not exactly sure what's happening now because this is what you wanted, I'll give it to you. And it's emotional. So Paul goes to the Fremen and does exactly what Jessica wants him to. And he starts reading people's minds. Not really, though, but he's making them think that. He has all of his genetic memories, so he's a storage of information. It's like he knows everything. So he starts talking to the Fremen and like reading their fortunes, kind of. He tells them about their grandparents and when they died and what they died from and what he does and what this man does in the privacy of his own home, and puts the fear of God into him. He's quivering, shaking. What is happening right now? I was on board before, but now this is freaky. I mean, this guy is actually showing me that he's a god. And he starts doing this to another man, and that's it. Everybody is on board. They all get on their knees and put their head down. They're in fear. And Paul is raging and screaming, and he's speaking in different languages. It's almost like he starts speaking in tongues. People are terrified. The only person that's not is Chani. She did not want this. He said that he would do what needs to be done, and he wasn't happy about it, and this is that story unfolding, unfortunately, for, I think, probably everyone involved. So, next part in the story, we see the fear, kind of the callback to Jessica's line earlier in the film where she says, "You will see the beauty and the horror." They're seeing the horror. So there's still some superstitions of the Fremen lingering. They are freaked out by Jessica. Jessica is looking amazing in the costuming. The art direction and the costuming is out of this world. She is in full-blown Fremen garb, and is also being treated as somewhat of a goddess. I mean, she is the mother of the Lisan al-Gaib. So, she's being treated as not just royalty, it's something more than that. These are fundamentally religious, superstitious people. So she's untouchable. The textiles that are used, this is just a small detail that I noticed. Everything is machine tooled, so we're seeing lots of handmade beads and handmade textiles rather than things using much more technology and being robotically put together. So I think that everything is looking really, really beautiful. I did not know if the design in this movie was going to stand up to David Lynch's design, because for me, the costuming that in David Lynch's Dune was some of the highest quality design that I've ever seen in any movies ever. So, the style is very different in this film, but really deserves some applause because it is actually just breathtakingly gorgeous. So that attention to detail definitely deserves a round of applause for all of the creative minds involved. More to come. See you soon.